Hello and welcome. And whether you are new to learning DBT, dialectical behavioral therapy skills, or just getting started, my name is Alicia Paz. I've been teaching DBT since 2013 to over 5,000 students in over 116 countries and counting. And I'm going to review the hardest DBT skills to learn. So this list is partly my own opinion and also the feedback I've received from students through the years in learning DBT skills. There's some DBT skills that really stick and resonate and people kind of click right away and they're able to utilize regularly. And there's just a handful of skills that students just seem to either not be able to remember the name of or just aren't finding super useful. It doesn't kind of come to the tip of their tongue when they are looking for skill use. And these are the 4 hardest DBT skills to use. Coming in at number 4 is ABC Please. I would say the skill itself isn't hard to use. What is actually really challenging is remembering the acronym. It's a really wonky acronym, I will say, and I'll give a quick overview of each skill, but won't dive too much into skills. ABC Please is accumulating positives, building mastery, cope ahead, and then the please focuses on treating physical illness, eating appropriately, getting balanced night's sleep, not taking mood-altering substances. So as a whole, a lot of students are able to be like, I have been focusing on my sleep, I've been eating more leafy greens, I've been feeling better about my situation. I overall am feeling like a benefit from doing so. And as a whole, I think students are using the skill. They just are forgetting the name of it. ABC and please, in a way, I think feel like 2 separate skills. And for a lot of students, they're not really able to separate it out and they're not maybe able to remember the actual acronym. So they might tell me they're using the please skills. It seems like students really forget the name of it often. Coming in at number 3 is pro-con. So I say this every time I teach pro-con, but we're so used to making pro-cons, whether it's like taking a job or moving, maybe even going on a date. You have that side-by-side 2-column list, the pros of going on the date, the cons, the pros of moving to Missouri and the cons of leaving your hometown. Whatever that might be for you, we all are used to it. DBT pro-con flips on its head and does a quadrant, so there is 4 spaces to fill in. I find a lot of students get stuck in which box to put things in and find it really confusing. There's also that double negative piece that comes in, and I find that pro-con, at least initially, is a really good skill to use like in your individual therapy or coaching appointments, or to maybe even like do with a friend or like talk about with somebody else. I think if you're doing it on your own without a lot of input or kind of review, it can be really challenging. So at number 3 is definitely pro-con. Number 2 is opposite action. I will say opposite action is a really useful skill. I mean, these skills are all pretty useful. The hard part for opposite action is that guttural. This does not feel good. This is uncomfortable. I don't want to use the skill. So opposite action, in short, is that you are immediately experiencing an emotion. Maybe it's fear, and opposite action is about doing the opposite of that emotion. So instead of feeling fear and wanting to hide, you go out, you leave your house, you go to that party that you were not sure if you wanted to attend, and that your body and your mind were saying like danger, 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 and you go all into whatever it is. So you're doing the opposite of whatever your action is naturally or whatever you might be doing. It also might be a target behavior that you're doing the opposite of that target behavior. Opposite action is really hard for so many students because it's like guttural. It's like, I don't want to go to that party. My brain is telling me no. I'm going to trust my brain, even though that might not be accurate. I'm just going to like go. I'm uncomfortable. It definitely has like the pit in your stomach, not in your stomach kind of feeling. It feels very unnatural for a lot of people. And I would say opposite action definitely is one of the harder skills to use, and just it has a feeling to it of like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. You're telling me to do this thing that I don't want to do. The skill is just that, doing something that makes you feel uncomfortable. And I find that utilizing opposite action is really challenging because so many students are like, oh, I can't, please don't make me. Maybe that skill just isn't the right skill for you, or maybe just isn't the right skill in the moment. So coming in at number 2 is opposite action. And the number 1 hardest DBT skill to use, and I'll say to fully use, is radical acceptance. Radically accepting is accepting something as it is, wholly, it is what it is. Without judgment, without saying shoulds and coulds, you are just accepting whatever it may be in full. I think for a lot of students, this is really challenging, and over time, maybe radically accepting small bits and pieces of your day, of your life. I always give the example of waking up and you're out of creamer and you always have coffee every single morning, or waking up and you have a flat tire and you now need to take care of it, and the day kind of flips upside down for you, being able to radically accept and move on from it, as opposed to kind of getting stuck in it or saying, oh, the day is ruined, I might as well not continue, I should just stay in bed, this is why I never leave my house, I knew I couldn't, hold down a job, or kind of having that kind of finite feeling and thinking, that all or nothing thinking. Radical acceptance is saying, whew, I guess I'm taking the bus today. I got a flat tire. Maybe you're going to go fix the tire. Maybe you're going to go out and buy milk later on in the day, or allow yourself a trip to pick up some drive-through coffee or something on the way in to work. Radically accepting is really challenging. In those examples, that might be a lot easier, but I find for a lot of people, radically accepting a certain person in your life, radically accepting a situation, even radically accepting a mental health diagnosis or issue that you're having, for a lot of people, being able to kind of fully go in. I think part of it also is just like letting go of all the extra stuff that comes with it, all the present things that might also be serving a purpose. It's really challenging for people. So definitely number one, hardest skill in DBT to fully utilize is radical acceptance. So rounding out once again, the 4 hardest skills, in my opinion, and the opinion of many students throughout the years, the hardest skills in DBT. Rounding in at number 4 is ABC. Please, just really hard for people to remember. Number 3 is pro-con, just because it kind of takes your mind out of things. It's a little bit more complex than a lot of other skills. Number 2 is opposite action, just that guttural, like, I don't want to do this. It just feels uncomfortable to so many, and I totally understand why. And number 1 is radically acceptance, just being able to let go and radically accept something is just so challenging. So coming at number 1 is radical acceptance. Thank you for joining me. Feel free to like and subscribe for any other DBT content you would like to see. If you have any input on this video or any other suggestions of DBT skills or DBT related things you'd like me to cover, feel free to leave a comment down below, and take care and stay skillful.